you in the market for one of the Flex SDS Rotary Hammers, but you can't decide which one to buy? You're thinking maybe the 7/8 compact would be enough, but you do like the thought of having something that's a little bit more than what you need. If that's the circumstances you're faced with, you've come to the right place. We're going to unbox this one, talk about it a little bit, show it off up close and detailed, and then we're going to talk about the big boy that I've been using for the last 2 years. So here it is. Here's the little compact, quite a bit smaller than this one. Let me see if I can hold them up close for you. Here's the differences. And we'll take some measurements of these. That's the purpose of the detailed up close videos that I produce. Why not, right? Okay, so obviously we'll talk about the new one first. Well, new to me, I should say. I have not used this tool. But we'll talk a little bit about it, show you what comes in the kit. Let me cut this string off real quick. Okay, so in the kit you get a 5.0 battery, which I have found these 5.0 batteries to be fantastic. I do like the stacked batteries better. I feel like they just perform better. You can tell when they're on the tool. So it's giving you that extra punch of power with the stacked batteries. But I like these 5.0s too. They're really good. And the fast charger, pretty good. I haven't had any flex tools die on me yet, so much less a charger. Chargers have been great. But the fast charger is pretty good too. It's not bad. And of course you get a handle, just like the big one. It's real simple. And you get your depth control there, and you get the case, which is okay. These I use a couple of these cases, but I don't know if I will on this one or not. I might. We'll see. I might put it in a stack pack. But yeah, you can tell this one is so much lighter weight than this big boy. Let me get a tape measure. We're going to measure these real quick. Okay, let's measure them first, and then I'll tell you some weights and some statistics here. So this one from the nose right here to the very back end, about 11.25, something like that, I would say. And then height with the handle on, we're talking, 9, 8.75, 8.5, something like that. Without the handle, I guess we should probably put a battery on it, right? That might help visualize a little bit. Because you're going to have a battery on it if you're using it, so. Okay, we're talking 8.75 with a 5.0 battery on this thing. Now, alternatively, you stick a 2.5 amp hour battery on there. Ooh, that's smooth. Even lighter weight, and we're talking about, 8.25, something like that. So, nice and compact. Let's measure the big boy here. And we might as well go ahead and put 5.0 battery on it. I wouldn't use a 2.5 on this one for sure. Height-wise, we're looking at 9 inches, I would say. And then length from the butt of the battery to the tip of the nose, 16 inches is what I'm going to call that. So height, what did we say, 9 inches? Yeah, about 9 inches, something like that. Now, let's show you what they look like up close width-wise. Turn this around for you. Here, let me adjust the camera. Let me put this handle down. Okay. Yeah. There you go. So right off the bat, I'm noticing an issue. Is you guys seeing that? If I turn that handle down, it's pressing on the battery indicator level. Look at that. Surely that's not just because it's a 2.5. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, so it won't even go down if it's the 5.0. So something to think about there, whereas this one obviously has no issues with that because of the configuration of the battery being on the back. I'm sure they did this for balance because you're probably going to be using this overhead or in awkward positions since it's smaller. And once again, I'll put that 2.5 on there. And you can see the 2.5, man, that is nice. So check that out with the 2.0 battery on there. See how nice and flat it sits? Now we'll go ahead and stick a 5.0 on there just to show you. So it's pretty solid because the 5.0 battery has a lot of weight to it. So I don't see this being as tipsy that way, but the handle is off the table. Whereas with the 2.5, I'd like to see it with a 3.5 stacked on here. I think that'd be perfect. If you had a 3.5 stacked battery, if I had one on me right now, I'd put it on there just to show you, but it's not a whole lot thicker than this. And I think it'd be perfect. But the handle, these handles are very comfortable. They've got kind of a rubberized grip to them. They feel great. They feel really, really good. And you know, it's just like any other rotary hammer that I've ever used. You just loosen the handle to move it around and then tighten it to put it in the position. I'm a lefty, so this is the position that I like it in. That probably looks weird for right-handed users, but yeah. So we've got, looks like 4 different settings on here. And obviously what it's set at right now is just drilling mode. And it does have reverse, which is great. And then we go to rotary hammer mode, I believe. Yeah. Sounds great. And then we've got chipper mode. And then, okay, this is chipper mode. I forget about this feature. I've got it on my big one as well. So this one allows you to rotate the spade and chip at the same time. Kind of a nice feature because your spade will, you know, work around sometimes, or if you want it to be free floating. So kind of nice there if you use a chipper bit, which we do all the time. So yeah, man, this thing is really smooth. Once again, on rotary hammer mode. I'm really surprised how smooth it is without having the vibration suppression here in the handle. It's actually just, it's really smooth. Over here, we've got vibration suppression. Now, once again, I have used this particular drill for at least 2 years now, and it has been a monster of a beast. You can see the RPMs, I think, spin a little slower. I know it has less beats per minute. So the compact right here has 4,500 beats per minute, whereas the big boy, the 1-inch, has 4,350 beats per minute. Once again, this one's rated for a 7/8 inch bit. This one's rated for a 1-inch bit. Okay, how about some statistics here? Weight-wise, without the battery, the 7/8 weighs 4.6 pounds. The 1-inch weighs 7 pounds. Tremendous difference there. Once again, that's without a battery. Now, how about some ratings? Okay, so some energy ratings. The little guy, 1.3 foot-pounds of energy, 1.7 joules. The big guy, 1.9 foot-pounds, 2.6 joules. So, pretty good size difference there as well. But I could see myself using this for even up to, you know, I don't know, a 3-inch Titan, something like that. But this would be great for Tapcons, especially. I could see us using this for Tapcons quite a bit. This one, this is my all-day use. If you're drilling a ton of holes into a sill plate, this one's going to be great. This vibration dampening, I don't know if the camera can pick that up. See how that handle's just kind of floating? See how I'm able to move that? That vibration suppression is the real deal. It is fantastic. So if you're debating on which one to purchase, you just really need to ask yourself, what am I going to do the most of? Am I going to be drilling big 5-inch Titans or wedge bolts or wedge anchors through a sill plate over and over and over and over again? Maybe you're just doing that for one job, and then the rest of your days as a contractor or whatever you like to do, maybe you're a homeowner, maybe you've got one job that you need to do that on, and then the rest of the time you own one of these, you're just going to be using it for tapcons or smaller ones. Go with this one. I'm sure this one would take a little bit longer to drill, you know, a hole, I don't know, 5/8 by 5 inches deep for a Titan, like for a sill plate, but in the end, this is probably the one that we're going to reach for when we need to drill for anchors of any kind or tapcons, things like that, the smaller stuff. This one though, this is a great all-arounder. I have drilled plenty of tapcons with this one, had great success with this one. I love the vibration suppression, but as smooth as this one is, I don't know, I'd have to be running it a really long time for that to make the difference in my purchase. I also love that this one comes in a kit. If you are not already in the Flex lineup and you're just looking for a good rotary hammer, I'm sure that this one will perform well. I have absolutely used and abused this one. Not a minute's worth of problems. So I will tell you one thing. Bosch makes legendary rotary hammers, and I've got their latest cordless Bulldog rotary hammer. We no longer use it now that we have the Flex, and we're just totally into the Flex lineup. But I will say this, I loved that rotary hammer. It was smooth, it had plenty of power, but it stalled. When the battery, and we would always use 8 amp hour batteries with it, it would stall out once in a while, especially when you're drilling through sill plates, those big Titan or wedge anchors, it would stall out. Not one time have I had this rotary hammer stall. The Bosch would basically go into a blinking mode. The battery would blink and you'd have to stop for just a minute. It would get very warm. It was like a thermal overload type situation. Not one time have I done that with this, and I have drilled hole after hole after hole. So I think Flex has got it together when it comes to rotary hammers. Which one you choose, that's your choice ultimately. What are you going to do with it most of the time? I can tell you this one is super lightweight. I really like this one. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. This has been a detailed, up-close tool review